Good morning, everybody. I can't believe it's Monday again. The weeks just seem to be flying by. So, who is joining us today? We've got snow here in Wisconsin. Hi, Martha. So we'll see how much snow we're gonna get. We're gonna get quite a bit, I think. Hi, Stormy. Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining me. Hi, Allie. I hope you guys saw my blog post that I put up last week after I did my video. I actually went ahead and just wrote up a quick blog post of everything I was mentioning as far as the different charts with who owns what. And I did post it in the post. So if you haven't seen that, make sure that you look at it because it's pretty cool just to see the different diagrams of who owns what. So this is my second episode of the evolution of the beauty industry. This is kind of like it's a project that I've been wanting to put out there for a while. I've been working on, and I'm just happy to finally be pushing myself to get all the information out to all of you. So I am a former salon owner. I've been in the industry for a couple decades, we'll just say that, and I've got a lot of experience, and I have just really been around to see a lot of what's been going on with the industry. And it's not just the beauty industry, but that is what I'm going to mainly be talking about just because that is what I'm involved in. And, James is napping. That's perfect, Allie. I'm glad you could join us. Good morning, Wendy. Good morning, Kathy. I'm so glad that you are all here. I'm warming up because I have a training video for all the different people I work with in the makeup industry at 11:30. So this is like my warm-up for you guys later. Hi, Kara. Oh, good morning from Chicago. Yes, if you are joining me, let me know where you are from so that I know who I'm talking to. And then if you know somebody that's in the industry, consider sharing the video because, it's not all doom and gloom. Yes, I'm going over things that are changing the industry. Yes, a lot of them are really bad. Hi, Jax. But the thing is, everything always changes. And with evolution and change, there's always really good things. You just have to really know where to find the information. And you also have to be willing to evolve with what's going on. I think a lot of people in our industry get really stuck on the way that they've always done things and they're not willing to change with the times. And so that's where I see people really get, it's just really not good because we're all here together, right? I want everybody to be successful with whatever they're doing. So as I said last week, I talked about diversion. Diversion is a huge, huge subject, and I could probably continue to talk about that. And I might just here and there just throw up a video because honestly, and I started with that because it is one of the biggest issues we're having. I almost waited till the end to talk about that, but I had to just get it off my chest. Oh, you're in Florida now, Wendy. That's great. I wish I was in Florida right now. So, and then I also talked about my views on diversion and that, yes, some of it's diversion, but on the other hand of things, a lot of companies are selling directly to the consumer. And, can you blame them? Because once I go through everything I'm going to talk about today, because that's really what today is about, is just the way that product distribution has changed. So I want you to think about the last time you bought something online through a website. Tell me the last time you bought something because right now that's the way of the world. Everybody's buying things online. It's not going anywhere. Okay, so what I want you to think about is the convenience of buying things online. Where I live, we have no stores really, so I buy 90% of my things online if possible. Because we don't really have access to anything. And I'm not even talking about beauty products right now. I'm just talking about in general. When's the last time you ordered anything online? Okay, so let's start with the transformation of distribution between the salon. So the way that we used to get product was from distributors. We call them distributors. So distributors would actually go to the manufacturers and get a product. So now let's say they bought a shampoo. A manufacturer manufactured a shampoo that cost $4. the distributor would purchase that product for $4 and then mark it up, let's just say $8. They're going to mark it up to $8. And then they in turn sell it to the salon for $8, right? And then the salon is going to retail it for $16. Well, what is online doing? Online is just taking out a middleman. It's either going to be the distributor or it's going to be the salon or spa. Because the manufacturers and a lot of these companies are like, well, we can just go directly to the consumer, sell it for what the suggested retail value is, and just make all of the profit. We don't have to give a portion to the distributors. We don't have to give a portion to the salons. We can go directly to the consumer. And I'm going to talk a little bit about what I found when I did research on that. But the other thing I want to touch on are Sephora's and Ulta's, and I'm going to be mainly talking about the hair industry, salon industry. I'm going to be getting into makeup artistry or the makeup side of things probably later on, because I think it's important to talk about that as well. I mean later on, like videos down the road. Mainly right now I'm talking about the salon, inside the salon industry. So Sephora and Ulta, and I talked a lot about who owns who. So L'Oreal, Estee Lauder, a lot of those companies have purchased all the little companies, and that's why you're seeing it in a lot of the stores, because they own the product now, all these lines, even Bumble and Bumble, Aveda, all of them, and so they're putting them in the stores. At the beginning, a lot of these stores, they weren't allowed to sell some of the salon, remember, professional only or salon only products in a store. So what they did was, like Ulta, for instance, they put a salon in their Ulta. So they're like, well, we have a salon here, so now we can just carry whatever products we want because we technically have a salon here. So that's how they got away with it at the beginning, and now, you know, obviously things are changing with that today. So as a salon owner, it was starting to get really difficult for me to find a distributorship as far as where I could get my product from, where I knew that it wasn't going to be diverted product. I knew that it was exclusive and it wasn't owned by, you know, L'Oreal or Estee Lauders of the world. And what I found was it was really difficult to, number one, find that, and number two, a lot of the smaller companies they don't have the budget to do any advertising. They don't have the budget to send educators to the salons anymore and support the salons like they need it. So there's no funding there. And I do actually have some friends that they have these smaller distributorship companies now, and they're really struggling. They can't even pay people to really go out and, you know, get into the salons and market those products to the actual salon owner, and so they're obviously just not going to grow as fast. So a lot of them have been purchased by the giant corporations, and what I want you to think about too is when these people start a lot of these product lines, their whole intention, and I did touch on this last week, their whole intention is to make a really good quality product because they really care about the hair industry. But when all comes to all, when they get big enough, a lot of the bigger companies are going to offer them some big chunks of money. And how can you pass that up, right? If you would own a hair care company and someone came to you and said, you know, can I buy it for, you know, $5 million, of course you're going to consider that, because in the long run, that's a lot of money, and you don't have to work as much. So even if you are using a line right now within your salon that you're like, well, it's independently owned, it's not owned by Estee Lauder, whoever yet, chances are it's probably eventually could be bought out. And I've heard that from some of these smaller distributorships too. It's like every week they're coming at some of these smaller companies like, we want to buy you out, we want to buy you out. So, you know, it's only a matter of time for some of them as well. All right, so that's hard because they're really not able to support them. So what I want you to give you guys is some statistics, because as you know, I'm a numbers and researcher person. Even though I'm creative, I do have like that business savvy side of me. So it's estimated that $17.3 billion, and that's in US dollars, of beauty sales were generated through online stores and and mail order product sales. Luxury hair care only grew about 7%, and it's at like $459.6 million in the U.S., and that was 2016 number. You can tell it's Monday. And cosmetic sales, I'm going to throw that number in there. Its value is around $14.4 billion. So that's even larger than the hair care sector, because hair care was $459.6 million. Cosmetic sales is $14.4 billion. So as a salon, I'm going to ask you, do you retail cosmetics? Chances are you maybe do, but you have a line you don't like, because there's not many out there that you're able to sell in a salon. That's why that's a whole nother, that's another episode. I'm not even going to get into that right now. And the cosmetic market is going to increase to $18 billion by 2020. And the strongest boost is from the premium sector, or segment. So we're not talking about like Maybellines and those. We're talking about like premium cosmetic. And skincare is even another market on top of that. So if the market should achieve growth predictions, it will have expanded by almost 45% in 10 years. So that's not going anywhere. Like premium products, our sales are actually growing every year. It's not going down, and a lot of that is because people will spend money on good products, whether it's skincare, makeup, hair care. When they find a good product, they will spend money on it. So again, think of the change in the way it gets to the consumer. So like I said earlier, by the time it got to the consumer, it would be marked up maybe 4 or 5 times. Now, with the invention of the internet, I know it wasn't just invented, but with online sales growing so fast, companies are, jumping on board. They're like, let's just go directly to the consumer. We're going to make a lot more money. So that was kind of talked about a little bit last week with diversion. So I have some quotes from articles from different companies, and it's not that I'm trying to like badmouth any company, but I'm going to mention names just because I want you to know that these are major companies that people use. And so and these are actual quotes, so I'm not making this stuff up. Hi, Jamie. How are you? Okay, so the first quote I have is, embracing direct-to-consumer has helped Virtue Labs control the way it markets its products. And this is a quote, we've seen in other categories of beauty, some successful, some not, but consumers need to lead the change. While they think the relationship between the salon and consumer will always be valuable, we don't need to have an intermediate anymore. So that's a direct quote from them. Okay, so the next quote that I have is, it's a whole other ball game now, says Victoria Hunter, and she's a co-founder of New York's Whittermouse, or I cannot talk, you guys. You guys are like probably laughing at me. Whittemore House Salon, and she's like the only person that's actually buying product. It's for only convenience sake. So when they're in there, they will buy it if they're in there, but they're not going to make an extra trip to the salon to get the product. So she's noticed that in her salon. So companies like Aveda and Bumble are selling directly to the clients now with their websites, and they're offering all the clients free shipping. So if you use Aveda or Bumble, and there's more, I'm not going to list all of them, you can actually just go right to their website and order it, and the salon that you frequent regularly will not get any portion of that. So last week I mentioned that, as a consumer, would you rather get the product from your stylist who's recommending it, and of course teaching you how to use it, and of course you're supporting them because it is a small business, and if you stop buying products from them, you're going to see an increase in something else that you're frequenting at the salon. So probably going to be the services are going to be raised as far as the price on there, because with them not getting that income, it's going to affect you too. And I realize that sometimes it's inconvenient, but planning ahead, a little bit, that's sometimes we have to do that. But I'm going to talk about another way that salons can help from that. Okay, so Companies, like I said, Aveda and Bumble are going right. They have websites with free shipping. When I did talk to one of the companies, those companies, they said, well, we do also have a salon locator on our website, but we don't have any way to ensure that the salon, keeps that sale, because if whatever they buy online is going to go, the profit's going to go directly to us. And I just thought that was kind of crappy. I won't swear. I'll say crappy, because I'm thinking, wow. So, I mean, I understand that, they need to do what they need to do for them, but it's like they don't even care about the actual professional anymore. It's just, I don't like that. I don't like that in companies, because in all honesty, and I touched on this last week, consumers or clients, they actually are getting kind of tired of, they want that one-on-one interaction. They want someone to show them. They want someone to be the expert to show them exactly how they can, find things that are going to help whatever it is that they're looking for. They're tired of buying all this product, and they're like, okay, that didn't work. And a lot of them have, like, under their sink, it's just full of products. And so, in a way, like, my view is people, for a convenience sake, are going to order online, but they really do want a professional to let them know, like, what they should use, okay? So it's all about the money. The salons are being used to promote their lines, which are being sold in other places that bypass the salon for profit, okay? So it's time to wake up and really understand that and see that. So let's get into some little makeup. This was a makeup tidbit that actually I saw a few months ago, and this kind of irritated me too. So when it comes to the salon world, there aren't a lot of makeup lines that you are able to retail in a salon. Because when you look at product lines like MAC, and we all know who owns MAC now, MAC or Smashbox or NARS, those products you are not allowed to resell in a salon type atmosphere. So they give their pros pro cards to get a discount when they buy the products, but they are not allowed to actually retail those to their clients. So those aren't really possible to have in a salon. So a lot of hair care lines actually came out with products, makeup products for salons, but they're always sort of an afterthought. And believe me, I've probably tried all of them, and quality was never there. The quality just wasn't there. They sat there because there was no brand recognition whatsoever, and a lot of hair care lines get rid of their makeup lines because they don't sell, because of all of that, right? They just sort of sit there. So one of the brands that salons were able to retail is actually Jane Iredale. And I've used Jane Iredale. It was in a spa that I worked in. And so that was, touted as kind of a higher end mineral makeup line exclusive to salons and spas. Medical spas, places like that would have Jane Iredale. Well, a few months ago, they announced that they are now going to have its full collection, and this is another quote, the skincare makeup brand is bringing its full collection of products to Neiman Marcus, and also to Neiman Marcus e-commerce site. So now they are deciding that they are going to bypass the salon and go directly into the department store and on their website as well, so that they can market more of their products. So now if I was a spa and I had Jane Iredale makeup, I think I would probably be a little bit upset, because you are actually, as a salon, required to sign contracts saying that you won't, sell it to, you'll sell it to your clients, but you won't, sell it divertedly on Amazon or wherever. And here they're like, well, we're going to break that contract and just go directly to, the department store. So I was really surprised at that one, to be honest, because I actually was talking to Jane Iredale about 6 months ago, just asking them questions about their website, and they actually have quite a big quota for the salons they work with, that they have to retail, X amount of dollars, and I mean, it was actually a pretty high number. And I said, oh, I saw you have a website. Do you offer that to your salons? They're like, well, no, we don't offer them to have a website. And I was like, wow. because I mean, again, it's just like you just use the professional to get your products out there, and now you don't need them anymore. And what they said was, we are delighted to be partnering with Neiman Marcus as we continue to expand globally, said the Jane Iredale, founder and president. The shopping experience at Neiman Marcus is grounded in providing exceptional customer service and quality products, perfectly reflecting our own brand philosophy. So that's their brand philosophy, I guess. And I mean, I was just like, wow. So to me, again, you want to take pride in having a company that's going to, at the end of the day, think about the professional. In my eyes, again, this is my opinion. And they're going to kick themselves a lot, because I think a lot of professionals are going to find ways to get ahead. And I have a lot of ways that I can teach you. So let's go on with Amazon. So a lot of products are now on Amazon, and again, it's not going anywhere. It's only going to get worse. It's only going to grow. It's only going to get bigger. It's there. So a lot of places are like so upset about it, but again, it's not going anywhere. So this is something that's only going to get worse, and it's gotten worse really, really fast. So I talked a lot about how if you do buy things on Amazon, it could be diverted product, it could be real, or it couldn't be. I mean, it could be junk that they just put in. You don't know what you're buying when you're buying it from Amazon. So now what Amazon has done is they have this premium beauty product like store within Amazon that you can go to. And so what a lot of you guys, I hate to tell you this kind of stuff because it just sucks, but a lot of companies are now listing their products on this because they're like, well, if our products are going to be on Amazon anyway, we might as well just put them on Amazon, okay? And I just really personally don't think that's a good thing for professionals, okay? So I'm not picking on this product line because I know people that use it. I'm not saying anything negative about, again, them. I'm just going to tell you a quote from them because I know a lot of people are going to be like, what? Okay, so this actually has to do with Divines. And I did post something a few months ago where their products were in Costco. And that was diverted product. It was real product. It was diverted by a distributor who just bought a ton of product and sold it to Costco. I think it was Costco or Sam's Club, one of them. And so the company was mad, and they went in and they bought it all back. They're like, well, we're going to take that person to court. And literally like a week later, they posted this, and they said, after years of fighting against Amazon, we realized we could no longer win the fight, and partnering with them was the only way to prevent discounting practices and fraudulent products, and therefore the only way to protect our salons. Tomorrow, Divines will invest the profit from Amazon in providing all of our loyal salons with gift with purchase opportunities to give consumers an incentive to purchase Divines products in salons versus anywhere else. And that's Anthony Mollet, CEO of Divines of North America. Yeah, so I get it, but I don't. Okay, so they're saying we're just going to put our products on Amazon so that when the consumers buy them, they know that they're legit products, right? They're also not going to be discounted. So their whole thing is, well, they're not going to be discounted. They're going to be the same exact price as they are in the salon. And then we'll just take that profit and we'll just offer free, incentives or free products or gifts with purchase. I don't know. Again, if I was carrying that product, I would be like, what? Yeah, like that's like a sellout. Like what are you doing? And I just to me, I was like, wait a minute, this does not make sense. And then they're like, and they're not the only company, you guys. They are not the only company doing this. I can't be here and list them all because there's so many that they're selling out. And But it's not going to change the fact that other people are still going to have their products on Amazon at a lower cost. So I don't really think that that is really going to, we'll see, right? We'll see. We'll just follow it and we're going to see. So the next thing that I want to just touch on is, so with all of this going on, a lot of salons are like, well, what product should I carry? And so a lot of the forums I'm on, they're like, you know, I'm going to carry this product. And then I'm thinking, yeah, but again, it's owned by L'Oreal. It's owned by Estee Lauder. It's in all the stores. Even, you know, you go to TJ Maxx, you go to Target, these products are in the store. It's happening with skincare too. It is happening with, and I'll have to look up the product lines that are doing that. It's one of the bigger product lines that are going directly to Amazon as well. But I'll put this all in my blog post because it takes me a little bit longer to write that out. So a lot of salons are like, okay, you know, like I said last week, maybe we shouldn't go with any product at all, or maybe we'll go with smaller lines. But again, it doesn't really solve the whole problem of not having an e-commerce website. Because if you think about it, e-commerce is big right now. That's where everyone is buying their product. When it makes sense for the actual salon to have an e-commerce website that the company of the product line would give them. And that's what I work with salons with. That's just a small portion of it, is everyone I work with, they get their own website where is their clients can actually buy the products from them. The salon still gets the retail profit. The client gets the same product and it gets shipped directly to them. And once they set up their customer account, it's always their customer. So they always have, they capture that sale. They never lose that sale. And that's huge. So a lot of hairstylists and other people that I know that are in the industry are going more with direct selling companies, also referred to as multi-level marketing companies, okay? I understand the frustration of this. I understand that they're just like, we don't know what to do anymore. I will agree that a lot of multi-level companies do, some of them out there have some pretty good products. How can I say this? Okay, I'm going to tell you the downfalls of partnering with a multi-level marketing company. And again, I've done a ton of research. I have looked at every comp plan I've been able to get my hands on. That could be a whole nother segment. Maybe I will do that. In all reality, a multi-level marketing company, they do get paid on sales. They get paid on their sales. They get a percentage of their people on their team sales, and depending on if it's 4 across, 7 across, you know, so many down, there's all different, you know, ways that multi-level marketing, MLM is multi-level marketing, and then the farther you go down, the less of percentage that you get of the person's sales. And you know, I'm just saying that I'm stating that that's how they get paid. A lot of pitfalls that come with that is they're not designed for the average person. They are designed for people who can keep a level of sales up, and it's bi-monthly usually. Not bi-monthly, but it's on a monthly basis that these sales are calculated and reported and generated and whatever. And so you always have to keep on selling to thousands and thousands of customers. You always have to be getting new customers, and then you also have to always be getting new people to decide that they want to sell it too. And I do know people that have made some money in that type of structure, but it's usually not sustainable. It's usually money that you can make quick, but it's really not sustainable. So some of them are like, well, I just use it for the products. But the other downfall is usually they are only in one product segment. So they might focus on just hair care. They might focus on just cosmetics. They might focus just on skincare. They might focus just on health and nutrition. So a lot of them are not multi-division companies. So some of the salons I know that I work with are like, well, we use this multi-level company and we get our lip product from that. And then we also use this company and get our skincare from that. And then we use this company and get our hair care from that. you know, that seems a little complicated to me, and they really don't see a very large return on it. Some of them are all hungo, or, you know, they're okay because they're like, I just want the product. But again, the product, the retail profit that they're getting on that product is not as much as they're used to. So they do have to really count on other people getting involved with that and retailing as well, becoming distributors or market partners, or there's all these different names for that. The other thing is, a lot of the products are usually a little bit overpriced because they have to pay for the incentives where you can get a car, or they are going to give you trips on cruises, or they're going to, you know, give you all these incentives. And the whole car thing too is, you know, it's a lease, and every so often you have to requalify to keep that car, which, I'm sorry, I just want to like have my car, and like I don't need to be given a car. I would rather be giving like the income, me personally, because a lot of when you're involved in something like that, most of the time everything at the end of the month resets to zero. So I have a lot of friends that, you know, I'm not, again, like this is just my view on it because I've studied the comp plans, and so I see a lot of them at the end of the month, they're trying to like push their sales because they either have to like hit a certain level to get like Ruby status, or I don't even know, there's all these different names, or to like keep their car. And so, you know, that's, to me, that's just really difficult. And to have that where you have to keep finding new clients, buying products, usually in a salon type atmosphere, you have your clientele. You have your core group of clients that come to you on a regular basis. They're not going to keep on purchasing one product segment, you know, so we'll say hair care every time they come, because usually it lasts a lot longer than that. Okay, so that's all like the doom and gloom and like, oh great, this is what's going on. And again, I'll have even more information on it. So one of the things that I help a lot of salons do is I usually sit down with them, and me as a consultant, I don't charge them to do this because this is what I do. This is my passion. And so the first step is for me to really sit down and say, okay, what are you offering right now? What are you offering for services? What are you offering for retail? What are some of the things you're doing? And then I will kind of look at, you know, what are some of the things you've thought of? You know, how are your sales? How is the percentage of service to retail? You know, what's your new client average? I mean, I'll look at all of these things, right? And then I have a lot of different exclusive brands that I work with that are not going to be found in stores. It's not going to be part of, you know, a multi-level marketing company. They're going to be high quality, high grade products. And then we give you a website where you can have all these products there, so you don't have to stock a large inventory. And it's not always about products as well. Like I said, I'll look at different services they're doing and ways that maybe they can increase, you know, doing just some add-on things. There's always things to look at, and always room to grow, you know, in that segment. But in all honesty, a lot of them don't have a lot of time to do more services. You know, we can only be on our feet behind the chair for so many hours a day. But there are some definite trends that are going on in the industry. And next week, I'm going to talk a lot about salons with employees versus salons with booth rental or chair rental type situations. And then, of course, the deregulation of a lot of our laws and just our licensing. That's all really changing in a lot of states. It actually changed recently here in Wisconsin. So I'm going to touch a little bit on that. But I want to leave you with this. These are some of the things that you can do as a salon owner or as a professional, is just really remember that clients want their stylist recommendation. They trust their professional opinion. So align with non-diverted product lines and keep the sale. That's like the really most important thing. And also the need for exclusive products. You know, focusing on other things like beauty from the inside out. That's a huge trend right now. Focus on your clients' needs. Give solutions to support those salon services that you do have. And custom products that your clients can't get anywhere else. And, you know, loyalty of the clients, where you're not going back and forth switching brands every 3 months, because that's really confusing too, or even every 6 months or a year. And I get it, because I know a lot of the brands that you have, you're like, oh, I thought they were going to stay exclusive, but they sold out, and so we got rid of them. I get that, but, you know, trust who you're working with as well. And then think of competitive differences where it comes to professional quality of the products. I'm a consultant, not a rep. So in the salon world, we're used to having reps from these distributors come in, and their whole goal is to get you to buy what they're selling. So they're all focused on sales. I'm a consultant. I'm focused on the success of the actual salon and spa, and my company stands behind me on that, because that's our goal, is making the professionals successful. And then having, you know, more streams of revenue coming in, not just services. You know, you need to look at other things to have it. I'm going to be going over these over the next few weeks. You know, looking at beauty from the inside out. It's, you know, there could be some weight loss solutions involved in that. And then the huge one is just having a website, having an e-commerce website that you don't have to build. Because we're not website developers, most of us professionals, right? What if you had a website that was just like, we just gave it to you and it's all set up, ready to go, and it's like, okay, this is your domain, and all of your clients you just send there, and you don't have to stock all these products in your salon, because you don't know what's necessarily always going to move, and what you're going to fall in love with and love. And you don't have to carry all of these different, you know, market sector products, but you'll have access to them on your website. Because, I mean, that right there, that's a $1 billion website just given to you. So that's what I really want you to think about between now and next week. And so I hope you guys learned a little bit from this. I know I've got some pros on here. I also know I have some customers on here as well. So if you're a pro, think about everything I said. Write down some of the things that frustrate you within your business or within your freelance, whatever it is that you have. And then I want you just to really keep an open mind about, you know, what you can do and some solutions to that. If you're a customer, I want you to think about ways that you can continue to support your professional, because you're going to need them. And when I go further and I talk about trends in the industry with YouTube and other people deciding they're just stylists and makeup artists and this and that, you know, you do want to have professional people in our world yet, because it's kind of a scary situation when they're not. So thank you all for joining me. Let me know your questions. I'm going to go through and read everything. I tried to keep it half an hour. I was better at it this time. I'm at 37 minutes. So join me every Monday when I talk about another subject. And next week it's going to be salons with employees versus booth or chair rental. And then also the deregulation of our industry. So please go ahead and share it with anyone you know. I will see you all next week. Thank you. Bye.